Welcome to this Steagle.com video how-to. This video should help you answer the question, can a cloud app like Google Apps really save you 70%? Google Apps is a product that's been available for a while now but still very much underutilized by a lot of companies. And this slideshow is here to help answer the question, can it really save you 70% on your costs? So firstly then, we'll look at what is Google Apps, then we'll move on to looking at why companies bother. We'll also highlight ways in which it saves you money and then actually give you some examples of real figures that we've worked out for some of our clients. So what is Google Apps first of all? Google Apps is a collection of online software presented as a service. The main core functionality of Google Apps includes Mail, which is Gmail but it's made for your domain, Google Docs, which allows collaboration and document editing in a web browser, Google Calendar, so you can organize meetings and schedule resources, Google Sheets, that's the equivalent of Excel as a spreadsheet, again based all in the web browser and also provides collaborative editing. Google Apps also provides lots more other services as well. They provide Google Talk, so you can do video chats and also text chats. They also provide Google Sites and Google Drive as places to store information. Also, Google Apps has built in extra levels of security and also compliance that you can buy as extra services. Google makes these all available via the cloud, so you don't need to install any software on your machines or manage any servers. Google Apps can also be extended by thousands of supported apps compatible with Google, as Google make APIs available so that third-party software developers can make extensions to extend the services. Google's vision is 100% web. That means they want to be able to deliver all of their services in a web browser. That means all you need to do is open any web browser you like on any device, whether it be an Android device, a mobile phone, or an iOS device, for instance an iPad or an iPhone, and you should be able to get your apps and also your information. Google makes this all possible through their cloud management platform and provide massive infrastructure to support day-to-day tasks. So why should we care? Gartner states that Google is the only strong competitor to Microsoft in cloud-based business productivity software. There's really no one else doing similar things to what Google are doing with Google Apps. This makes it a very important thing to look at and to consider as you look at your IT infrastructure. Global adoption is also becoming quite large. 4 million businesses worldwide have already moved to Google Apps. And some of these businesses are huge. Jaguar Land Rover, KLM, the Daily Telegraph, Sky, National Geographic. The list goes on. And all these companies have moved to save primarily money, but also to save other things as well. So why did they bother? Headaches, availability and scale. If you need to add another 100 users to your environment, you may need to consider, can the server cope with it? Do we have enough infrastructure elsewhere? With Google Apps, you don't need this worry at all. You simply buy the extra accounts and Google worries about all the server backends and making sure there's enough availability on their infrastructure to support your needs. Collaboration, time and efficiency. Google Docs is really the only software as a service that offers the collaboration in real time. You can open a doc and have 10 people editing it all at the same time in different sections, all working together, all on the same section. This means you don't have to worry about sending attachments out via email and wondering which is the most current and which is the most useful version of that file. Connectivity, less bandwidth. Google Apps has really optimized the way in which the browser talks to the server. So therefore it uses less bandwidth over your internet connection to talk to their services. This means you can save money on your internet connection and bandwidth. Formula 1 security, not matched outside the military. Google Apps has managed to attain ISO 27001 as a standard of their level of security. This is the same level of security that federal banks are tested to in the United States. The security is really not matched anywhere outside of military installations. Freedom of device, phone, tablets, Mac, PC, Linux. With Google Apps it really doesn't matter. Google again have strived to make everything work well in a web browser, and they make that work well across multiple platforms. It means that you can just pick up any device and get your information. Google also provides intranets and websites as part of the Google Apps service via the Google Sites service. Again, this is completely free at no extra cost, and you can make an infinite number of intranets or websites to meet your needs. No scheduled downtime. Google do not schedule any downtime for their services. This is because they have such a massive infrastructure with data centers around the world and multiple data centers holding your data. It means that they can take a data center offline and you as the user would never even notice. All the data would just transfer from another data center. OPEX based. That means that the costs come from operational costs rather than capital costs. This means you can quantify very easily how much your IT costs. If you had to ask someone how much does it cost to run your servers and the staff to look after them and the cost of buying them and the cost of maintaining them, it'd be a very difficult calculation to work out. But because Google Apps is charged by a monthly amount per users, you can work out what it's going to cost you extremely easily. Privacy. Google don't own the data, and data liberation. Many people have concerns over the privacy of the data that's held in the cloud. Google do not look at this data at all. It is held on their servers, and the only reason they access it is to copy it to another server so you can make your data more reliably accessible. Google also provide very easy ways to make sure that you can get the data out of their service if you ever want to move away. They have a specialist team called the Data Liberation Team, which specialise on making sure that your data is accessible and you can pull it all out and leave nothing behind if you wish. Finally, the price tag. It's substantially cheaper than a traditional server client-based model that you host yourself. So can you really save 70% with Google Apps? Let's have a look at some real figures. This is a real case study that we did for one of our clients where we matched the Microsoft traditional licensing on a 3-year agreement versus Google Apps. As you can see there's all the items listed that they would need from Microsoft and also the equivalent that you can get from Google Apps. As you can see, the cost difference is massive. £266.61 per year per user to use Microsoft on your desktop, whereas if you want to use Google Apps in the cloud, it works out at £39.60. That's an 85% saving. But the savings don't stop there. The cost comparison there doesn't include hardware. It doesn't include the cost of buying your own servers, and it also doesn't include the cost of having to run them with electricity or maintain them with staff. Google do all that for you as part of their cost. But also these costs are hidden away as well, which you could save on. Licensing costs and third-party support. That's roughly around £150 per user per year. Hardware servers, again, difficult to quantify, but you're looking at around about £10,000 per annum. Less spam. Google Apps has great spam filters in there and can easily save you money on not having to receive them and deal with them. Data replication. Google again replicate all your data across multiple data centers across the world. That can cost as much as £12,000 per annum normally. Support times. You won't need as many support personnel supporting you. They can spend their time more effectively doing something else. There's no rollouts, refreshes or patches. Everything just happens in the web browser, and if Google deploy a new feature or a new fix, it's there for you ready. You don't have to do anything. Again, no downtime. Google have an uptime guarantee of 99.9%, and this can save a company of 100 employees 2,700 hours a year. There's less training involved as it's easy to use and people can collaborate better. There's better communications as collaboration is key built into Google Apps. And also the collaboration works on mobile devices too, so that means you can have a better mobile efficiency, 2.8 times greater than normal. All that roughly can save you, on a company with 100 employees, £99,000 a year. But in practice it can be even higher. Again, we've got some comparisons here with real clients that we've worked with. A property company was spending £384,000 on an outsourced traditional model, and moving them to Google Apps and Google Cloud brought their costs down to £100,000. Again, a global PR company, they were using MS Exchange and it was costing them £120,000 per year. We managed to bring that down via Google Apps to £24,000 per year. That's an 80% saving. Schools, we can't even put the figures in there. Google Apps for Education, that's free. So there's an infinite amount of saving there on the cost. And so schools get even bigger benefit from moving to Google Apps. Conclusions. As you can see from the real figures that we've given, you can definitely save 7% and quite often sometimes higher. I hope this video has been useful for you, and I hope that might inspire your interest into Google Apps.